Hi Jane. Hi Melissa. I'm just trying to send you the invite now, Melissa. Hopefully find you. Why is it not finding you? I know you're there. Hi Gina. I can see you. There we go. Love a bit of technology. Hopefully that invite's come through to you now. So I'm really excited to have the lovely Melissa with us shortly. Technology goes our way. It's lovely to see some faces. Well, not see your faces. I see your little emojis. Ready. It's just taking a minute to connect. I actually met Melissa at an event, I think it was last year, and talked to Melissa for ages, so I'm very, very excited to have her on for a chat. Just trying to add now. Trying to add you as well, Jane. I don't know why. Bring you on live. How are we going, Melissa? Is that coming through to you? Just trying to connect. Saying adding. Fingers crossed.
You think I'm there?
I love a bit of technology. It's like when it works, isn't it? How are you?
You think I'm there?
You all right? Can you hear me all right?
Yes, I've had to do it on my phone because it's not going on desktop for some reason.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I must admit I can't use mine on desktop. It's not always very successful. So I'm just going to turn the volume up a little bit because I just realised we turned it right down.
Can you see me okay?
I can, yeah. So we've got a few people. We've got a little teddy bear from Gina waving there. Can you see the chat? Oh.
Just about, I think. Yeah.
Fabulous.
Like that.
Jane on, so hopefully we'll Emma will be able to join as well, and a few others. So we will get started.
Perfect.
We'll stay on the page so people can catch up and ask questions. So yeah.
Yeah. Some reason it's not showing me the chat.
It's not. Oh, we've disappeared. There you go. Technical issues. There you are.
I'm here. Sorry, you might have to ask me the questions. For whatever reason, I can't see live chat, but...
Oh, okay. Well, if anybody asks any questions, I'll let you know.
Thanks.
So, obviously, we've met already and we had a lovely chat about what you do, and I use your wonderful supplements. So I just wanted, if it's okay, can you share a little bit about your own menopause journey and what led you basically to create these supplements yourself?
Yes, of course. It's so lovely to speak to you again. And yeah, so what happened to me was I was about coming up for about 50 years old, and I was in a very, very good job. I worked in the corporate world in hotel sales and business development. And everything was going absolutely brilliant. You know, I was earning lots of money and everything was on the up. And then suddenly I started to feel really, really strange, like a lack of confidence, terrible brain fog. I can remember being on a board call with about 12 board of directors, and they said, "Over to you, Mel." And suddenly I couldn't even remember my name or what I was talking about. Oh, I don't know what that noise is there. What I was talking about or anything. And I just actually thought I was having some sort of mental health crisis, to be honest with you. And from that moment of having that brain fog on that call, my confidence went down even more. I felt like I wanted to give up work. The only way I could describe it was that I wanted to get on a plane and just go somewhere for like 3 months or something to find myself again. But I couldn't understand why I was feeling this way. And it transpired that one day I was at home and I had a hot flush. And suddenly I realised that I was going through the menopause. But I was so upset about it because in my head I was still 30 years old, you know, I wasn't ready for menopause. And I knew absolutely nothing about menopause at all. All I knew that was generally ladies that had hot flushes. I didn't know how it could affect you mentally, physically, and everything else. So that was really how the menopause came about. And then I started to research how I could help myself and find as much information as possible. And that's where I come across all the vitamins, minerals, botanicals, adaptogens, and everything that could sort of help me on this journey.
And there's many, so many.
Oh, I know. And I found so many things that did actually work, but there was still some things that I struggled with, like hot flushes. I found it very difficult to find a supplement or this magic potion to cure hot flushes. So I basically embarked on a bit of a multi-prong approach to try and get back to feeling like myself. And what's so amazing is I do finally feel like myself again. And there was a time there where I just didn't know how I was going to carry on feeling like this, you know. And it wasn't until I started to feel better that I realised I had to help other women somehow. They couldn't go through what I did. That still makes me feel really emotional now, to be honest with you. You know, a lot of people think you just have to get on with these things, and you don't. There's help and support out there, no matter what way you want to go, whether the natural route, the HRT route, whatever. So that was sort of how my journey started.
Yeah. And what do you think your biggest challenges have been with the menopause yourself? What it is the sort of the mental health side of things and the anxiety?
Mine was cognitive and mental health. I just felt like I'd lost myself as a person, and that was horrible because I'd always been, you know, bubbly and bright and good at my job, and everyone else around me was better than me at my job. All the young ones were coming up, and I just felt like I was fading into the background. You know, I wasn't being put forward for the projects anymore, and maybe some of it was paranoia, which was another part that I had. You know, I used to think that my team were talking about me, or I was purposely not being put forward for projects. So yeah, it was mainly that, but the hot flushes were quite bad, and joint pain as well I had. Yeah, I thought I had an autoimmune condition. You know, I had blood tests, I had heart palpitations. I thought that I was having a heart attack, or something was really, really wrong. I had all these tests, and before I knew what it was. And yeah, menopause is, I think there's about 47 different recognized symptoms now. And yeah, it's really, 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 yeah. But a lot of people don't talk about the mental side of menopause. And I'm sure a lot of ladies on here can hopefully agree with me that it really plays havoc with you.
Yeah, and that's something I've noticed with the other interviews as well. And what people are commenting with is the mental health is a big thing. It isn't just the physical things like the hot sweats, obviously the sleepless nights. It is the anxiety, and actually what you said, the paranoia. I went through a real time of paranoia,
Yeah.
and it was, you just think what's happening to me, like you say, especially women that are in high corporate jobs. I've had friends that have come out of jobs because they just think they couldn't do it anymore. And I think
Yeah,
that's quite sad, because I think, you know, we're starting to get there a little bit, but a lot of companies don't have the support there for the women that are going through that. And I think that's quite a major, like
I
you say, everyone's like,
agree.
get on with it.
I agree. And I also think, you know, how technology and everything is moving so fast now as well. And a lot of us coming up for menopause or in menopause now may not have been around that type of, you know, technology and everything that goes with that. And I think it's sort of a double whammy, really. You know, all the social media and what you're supposed to be doing, and what you should do and what you shouldn't do. And then you're bombarded with information all the time. So it's been really, really difficult.
Yeah, no, I hear you that completely, because I think particularly since COVID, how much things have changed with technology hugely. So, I mean, things like this are brilliant. We wouldn't have done this before, Facebook Lives together interviews. So there is good things about it, but when you don't come from that technical background, which a lot of our generation don't, and suddenly that's thrown at you, and it's been thrown at us very fast. You're
Yeah.
trying to deal with that, and on top of that, your emotions and your brains everywhere. It's a lot to deal with. And I know that I personally, sort of towards the end of last year, I was working with another girl that was very, very technical, wanting me to do this, that, and the other, and marketing this way. And I actually found myself crying on
Yep.
quite a few occasions, thinking, what is wrong with me? Like, pull yourself together.
I know my hands were sweating before this live because I thought I just know this is something's going to go wrong for me here. But I've done plenty of pre-recorded stuff, but not lives. But we're here.
Yeah,
We're
we've
making
done
it
it.
happen.
Look at us go. Quite impressed. To be fair, I'd done Facebook Lives, but I'd never done them as an interview until I started this course. So it's been kind of a bit of a journey. And I remember the first one I did, being really, really nervous, thinking, please work. And it's, you know, it's been pretty good. You get the odd technical hitch, but you know, we're getting there with it. So we
Exactly.
can help people with it. So so I'm going to ask, so what has been the turning point which made you realise how much you really did want to help other women going through this
Yeah.
transition?
So the turning point for me was when I started feeling better, and I didn't want to run away anymore. I was happy in the life that I was living, and I just thought all of this came about because of the research that I'd done and the work that I'd done, and to help other women so that they didn't have to trawl all through the internet or be overwhelmed with what supplements were out there or what support for menopause. And I wanted to bring it all together. Now you've got some big companies out there, big supplement companies, menopause companies. I won't name names because that's not my style, but you won't have a real woman who's had menopause behind them. You won't have had them train in menopause wellness support, so that if you text them about the supplement, they're not going to be able to help you in terms of the menopause. And yeah, that was the turning point for me. But it was really, really scary to give up my full-time job to come and do this full-time. But I just got to the point where I knew that I had so much information that I wanted to share with people, whether that's through my supplement or my menopause support. So I remember being at my desk one day, I wrote a little letter to my boss saying, thank you so much for a wonderful opportunity, but I'm now off to pastures new. And I took it to him. He was shocked. And then I called my husband and said, oh, I've just handed my notice in. And my husband said, good for you. This is what you're meant to do. He didn't even care. He's helped me a lot in the startup phase of this business.
Brilliant. And you know, obviously I know already, because I do, you know, I met you, I've used your supplements, love them, and obviously there's been a point where you've been inboxing me when I was having a hard time, giving me advice. So you do go well beyond just, you know, here's the supplement, off you go. You really have been very, very helpful, and obviously I'll shout you out to that, because I absolutely love your vitamins.
Thank
And if
you
I
so much.
only had to choose one thing, it would be yours. And I'm not just saying that because I'm interviewing you. I tell the girls about it all the time. It's brilliant, and the support that comes with it is fantastic as well. So
thank you, Sarah. And one thing I've found extremely hard, and I don't know if the ladies have noticed this themselves, is I'm very much, I'm an honest person, and I could sit here and tell you that my supplement will make everything go away with 2 capsules a day and life will be perfect like all the other supplements will tell you. And that's not the case. We need to work on a few things to really make us feel the best we can feel. And that's been a challenge because a lot of new supplements have come on the market and told people they'll lose 10 pounds in 7 days and their hot flushes will go in 48 hours. So it's been a challenge, but I've stayed true to what I believe in, and I'll never over egg anything, and I'll give as much support as I can, and be honest with people.
Yeah, and that's good because you have got, you know, you have got the experience there yourself, and you are honest. And
Yes,
you have talked to me about other supplements and things as well. You're quite upfront. But I think that's
exactly.
what people will really love about you, especially seeing your face now and putting that face to obviously the product, and
Yes,
knowing that actually, you know, you haven't designed a product just because you want to sell it. You're doing it because you genuinely want to help women, and you have really done your homework and studied menopause as well, so you can really help coach other people as well, which is, yeah, a lot of
exactly.
companies wouldn't do that. So I mean, the supplements, there's so many of them as well, but can they help support hormonal balance, and things like energy levels and sort of
Yes,
overall well-being?
yeah. Supplements can, but what you have to be really mindful of is it's mainly the vitamins and minerals that will help with your hormone balance.
Yeah.
A lot of the supplements out there will be herbs. So, sage, red clover, black cohosh. There's a supplement out there that has 5 ingredients, and every single one of those is a herb. And they are not going to, yes, herbs and adaptogens and botanicals can help. But really, the things that really, really work are a supplement that is full of vitamins and minerals that at the right level of everything you need. So your B12 will help with your adrenal glands, making sure that your cortisol lowers. Your B6 as well will regulate your estrogen levels. B3 will detoxify your steroid hormone. So they'll never replace your hormones, Sarah. This is a thing that a lot of companies will try and tell you they will not replace them, but having a really great level of nutrition and the right amount of everything will help balance your hormones.
Yeah. And I think the thing is as well, it isn't just a one thing fits all. Like the same thing with HRT, people think as soon as they go on HRT, it's going to actually change everything. It's a much bigger picture, isn't it? The supplements will help you alongside a good diet.
Yeah,
Obviously, things where we've spoken to other people with the exercise, you know, the well-being, getting outside. It's a big picture, isn't it? It isn't just, you know, and some of these companies, like you say, they say they're going to do everything for you and fix every single problem. Well,
yeah.
if there was one tablet that could do that, there would, yeah,
Ah,
everybody would be
we'd be on a beach in the Maldives, I think. But
exactly.
and some people, if you speak to a nutritionist, they may say that everything has to be done through food. I'm a strong believer that food and nutritionally dense food and high protein and all that is absolutely amazing and 100%. But with the busy lifestyles that we lead and the extra stress we're under, and sometimes we don't eat all of our 5 a day and everything, this is where supplements can, it's in the title, supplement your nutrition and just give you that little safety blanket that, yes, I've got everything I need in there for now. That's not a long-term solution, as in just take supplements and don't eat a nutritious food. You need to do both. And also, because our gut bacteria and everything changes in our stomach, you'll notice yourselves, you might have more bloating, more excess gas. Things are just not digesting the same. And of course, at the same time, those nutrients are not being absorbed the same either. So by supplementation as we age or adding a probiotic can really, really help as well.
Yeah, really, really beneficial. And actually, the good thing, and I think this is what sold it to me when I very first met you as well, and you showed me the capsules, because obviously there's so many different, if you walk into any shop, there's just capsules and things everywhere. But a lot of them are actually full of different additives, things that we don't need. And I'm not very good at taking tablets, and you showed me straight away, you clicked this capsule and the powder came out that I can put into a smoothie, which I do, and
Yeah.
goes into my morning smoothie. And I could just see that they were just pure. I could see the turmeric in there. It was just pure. There wasn't any rubbish in there. And that's what's good about your
So
products.
if anyone is watching, just a little tip to tell you whether your supplements are good or not. And I'm not saying take mine. I'm very honest and open about some other supplements that I think are good as well. I don't know if you can see this here. Can you, Sarah? These are what supplements are like in supermarkets and shops. They're hard. And when a supplement, so if you check the supplements you're having at the moment, if they are hard like this, not a capsule, hard, they are 99.9% probably going to contain fillers, binders, nasties, rice flour, sometimes even talc or chalk. And that's because it's a really cheap way of manufacturing them. So just go and check to see if your supplements are hard like that, and that's a really good rule of thumb. And then if you check your supplements and they are like, you can see this or not, they're like a capsule, soft capsule that you can open as well.
Yeah.
You're 99% certain that they will not contain any nasties, fillers, binders, because the manufacturers that do this, that's why they created this type of supplement, so that you can get those really nice high doses of vitamins and minerals in there.
Yeah. Is it the same with chews as well? Because you get those gummies and things that people take, especially like someone like me that's not very good with tablets. And actually, when you chew them, obviously because you're chewing them, they've got to taste nice.
Yeah. So I'm going to show you. We're talking about that. This one here, I'm going to cut. Oh, sorry, I should cover that. You didn't see that. You didn't see that. This one here, oh my goodness, it tastes delicious. It's a beautiful gummy. It tastes like blackcurrant. It's got a very well branded name that we all recognize. If you actually look on the back of this packet, the number one ingredient here is sugar, then glucose, then beef gelatin, and somewhere down the list there's a few little vitamins and minerals. So please don't be fooled by something that tastes yummy like this, because it tastes yummy because it's got sugar and all the sweet things in. Yeah,
then, doesn't
yeah.
it, completely? I mean, obviously, as you mentioned, obviously we don't take supplements because we're not eating a good diet. It goes alongside it.
And
but what's some of the common deficiencies or nutritional gaps that women can experience during sort of midlife?
Definitely B12. That's why there's been this surge of like B12 injections you can get in beauty salons and whatever. And funny enough, which a lot of people don't realize, when you start experiencing what you think are menopause symptoms, sometimes they can be deficiencies. So, you know, the doctor really before needs to check that your B12, your vitamin D as well. What else do they're usually the two, and then they usually check thyroid as well, because all of those things, especially the thyroid, can mimic menopause symptoms sometimes. So it's good to just rule out that there's nothing else there, and then you know that it is probably perimenopause, menopause as well. So B12 and vitamin D are really those two that stand out to me as being deficient.
Yeah. I mean, am I right in thinking that you've got some tests on your website, different tests for menopause?
Yeah, I do. I partnered with a company called Forth, Forth. I want to be transparent. I do not make any money out of these blood tests at all, because he said to me, do you want to make 15% per test, or would you like to pass the 15% on to your customers? And that's not my thing, you know, blood test company. So I said, no, I want to do 15% off to my customers. So there is a link on the Menopause Vitamin Co.uk. On the homepage, it says Forth blood tests. You can go on there, click, and you'll see the 15% off. But I'm not going to lie, they're not cheap to have a really thorough blood test done. And you do have to be mindful that, especially if you're in perimenopause, your hormones can be up and down daily. So you'd need to have, you know, a few consistent tests. So even just going to your GP and ask for for a vitamin D test at least, B12 test. They don't like to really test for hormones on the NHS unless you're under 40.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't have known that. So a lot of people say go and ask for blood tests with the GP, but you don't really what you've been tested for. So that's really helpful for anybody out there to just see if they've got any deficiencies going on, particularly I suppose through the perimenopause.
Yes.
Everything's up and down. So
yeah,
it's these little things. You never know what to ask when you're going to the GP, do you really? So
yes. There's a lady on here saying I'm really deficient in folate as well. How did you know that, Jeanette? Was it a test that you had at the doctor's, or just something that you think you were short of? She might come back to me with that.
Yeah, have a little watch. I'll keep my eye on it.
Yeah, the comments are coming up now. So a lot of ladies ask me about magnesium as well. There's a real trend around magnesium and a lot of chatter around magnesium. There's 3 types of magnesium. You've got your citrate, which really helps with digestive issues, and it is the most bioavailable, so that you'll get the most goodness out of that magnesium. You've also got malate, which is for your energy and fatigue, and then you've got glycinate, which is for your sleep. My supplement does have citrate in it. I couldn't fit every magnesium in there as well, but one that I do recommend, which is why I'm not all just about me, is the Nutrition Geeks 3-in-1 magnesium. So if you do have trouble with sleep, what I say to people is you could take 2 of my capsules that's got everything else you need in, and then take an extra 1 of these in the evening before you go to bed. These guys are my same philosophy, no fillers, no binders, absolutely amazing price because this company actually makes them themselves. I think about £9.99. And what I love as well is there's capsule form again, really pure. I've got a lady, Gina, saying I just bought the Nutrition Geeks magnesium. Honestly, it's so good. One day I'd like to do my own, but I'm a very small business at the moment.
One day. So what's Jeanette saying? Oh, she's had tests at the doctor's after vitamin D deficiency. They put me on. Can't quite read that.
Right.
Indeed.
40,000 milligrams of vitamin D. So that was probably a liquid form of vitamin D, Jeanette. Almost like an oil, and that's absolutely amazing because it's super high, but a very, and you really get that into your system. But once you've done that, just by taking the supplement that I have has got 1,000 micrograms of vitamin D in, so you should be all right after that, but it will just top up that vitamin D.
I think sometimes we sort of, because I mean at one point you told me off because I was over supplementing. Yeah, back in again.
Yeah, ladies, that is so true. I was telling you off because I think you're like at the beginning, not so much now, but at the beginning you were like, I need this like quick win. I need, should I be taking collagen? Shall I be taking this and that and this and that? And you can over supplement, and that's why I created this supplement, so that you knew exactly what you needed to take. But to be fair, B vitamins and stuff are water soluble, so even if you are taking a bit too much, it will just go out in your wee anyway. So yeah, it's difficult to over supplement, but it depends what it is you're taking. I think if you try and take a lot of different herbs and everything, mushrooms and this and that, that's when it can get a bit messy.
It's a bit too much, doesn't it? Yeah. I mean, now I've obviously I take your capsules. I've got my magnesium as well. And I do have, it's like a collagen hot chocolate thing, but it just gives me, because I've cut out caffeine, but that's got a little bit of caffeine in. It's basically a hot chocolate with a little bit of extra in. So and that's it. That's all I sort of take now.
Brilliant. And if you do like your caffeine, the problem with caffeine is that it can really unsettle our hormones sometimes, but at the same time we want that energy hit, because some of us can't function without caffeine. So there is this, I don't know if you've ever come across this before, the matcha green tea caffeine. This is a ceremonial grade 1 by Perfect Ted. Again, I don't get anything for this. That is really, really good. It comes in either cans that you can drink, but only one a day, or you can make a nice warm milk and the matcha in there as well.
Not quite a nice way to do it. That's what I do with my, it's from Ancient and Brave, so that's just one I just put in. I don't have it every day, but sometimes in the afternoon, if I just need that pick up, like because I've cut out, I drink decaf tea.
Oh, well done.
I just sometimes need that in the afternoon, and it's just not too much caffeine. I don't get that hit and come down with it. So something that's, I suppose, similar to the matcha. It's going to give you that lift without sort of having come down. Yeah.
Yeah. I was just saying, she had a tablet form of vitamin D, just 2 tablets once a week. Oh, so that was with the doctors. That was on a tablet form, was it? Oh, it's usually they give you a liquid form, but maybe they do 2 different types.
Do you still feel quite that you're still very low on your folate, Jeanette, or you've kind of controlled that one? Give it a minute to come. It takes a little while to type.
Still come back to us with that. But yeah, so yeah, just be careful of your gummies. Great magnesium. There's also this supplement that is out as well. This is a great company in terms of it is a free flow capsule and everything, but it doesn't have as much a broad spectrum of vitamins and minerals, and it's very much phytoestrogens. And phytoestrogens you have to be careful of if you're on HRT or you've had any breast cancer or anything estrogen fed cancers, because phytoestrogens like black cohosh, red clover, they can feed cancers, so just be careful with that. I made sure mine didn't include any of that.
Do they say that on the back of their bottles, these things?
Well, no, but I just realised last week they've launched one that doesn't have phytoestrogens in, because everyone was putting comments about it saying, you realise it's just full of phytoestrogens. So I think they are bringing out one, or they have brought out one that doesn't have that in, but a lot of people don't realise that.
It's worrying, isn't it? Because you pick these things up off the shelves and you know, you could potentially be taking something that's really not very good for you at all. So you're just assuming it's good for you because it is a vitamin. So it's a little bit worrying. And Jeanette's saying she's just still feeling very tired and knackered.
Oh, bless you. Jeanette, I would just say, you know, and I know it's the old cliche, but you know, are you keeping hydrated? Are you eating nutritiously dense food? Are you cutting back on your white refined carbs and sugars? All of those things will give you crashes. And then also making sure you've got very good supplement with all of the percentage of vitamins and minerals that you need in there.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it takes a while for vitamins to get into your system. So if you're starting something new, sort of, how long would you say it normally takes before you start to notice it in your system?
Takes about 12 weeks, Sarah, because everything has to get into our cells. And I think we're so used to wanting a quick win. There must be loads of ladies that have got just bottles sitting in their cupboards that they've tried this and that and never really given it a chance. And I think you have to think, you know, this is all part of our health as we age. It's a bit like, you know, exercise. Before you could think, well, if I do a bit of exercise, it's a bonus. Really, as we age, we've got to get our bodies in a really optimum state to have a really great next 20, 30 years.
Well, we're here hopefully for a very long time. You just think,
yeah, some more than others. I'm 54 this year, so it's whizzing by.
But they say, don't they, that most women live longer in menopause than they do at any other phase of their life. So, and you kind of, there's this big thing, you think, oh God, it's the end. I'm coming to the end of menopause. That's a horrible stigma with it, which actually it's not the truth. And if you go back in history, I love it when they say in some cultures, they call it the new spring and things like that. And it really is, but you've got to go into it feeling well, haven't you? So
honestly, Sarah, I would say I feel the best I've felt in ages, coming into my mid-50s. the 49, 50, 51, that perimenopause stage before I got everything. That is a horrible, can be a horrible stage, and you almost feel like, is this it? But it isn't it. As long as you put a few things in place, it isn't it. And yeah, I'm not going to lie, I still have good and bad days, but there is light at the end of the tunnel. And I watched something today about a lady who's in her 60s, someone famous, I can't remember who it was, and she said she's actually the happiest she's ever felt now, because she's retired, she's got plenty of money to travel, she's early 60s, all the stresses of perimenopause are out the way. So, you know, it's not all doom and gloom, and I think you can easily get in that trap of feeling like it's all doom and gloom, but you can't just live a life like you did, not do anything and expect a different result.
Yeah, exactly. You've got to work at it like anything, haven't you? So you've got to look after yourself. And I think, you know, there's been a real theme of women doing way too much.
Yeah.
And I think we've just got to get to that point where self-care and looking after yourself really has got to be at the top there. You can get away with it in your 20s and 30s, brushing things aside, not looking after yourself. But when you start going through this with your hormones, you really have got to put yourself as a priority.
100%. Like with what you do as well, Sarah, you know, the thing is, what we sometimes do is we want to be the person we were when we were 20, 30. Yeah. And if you keep wanting to be that person, you're just going to like be disappointed. You've got to think, right, where am I now? What can I do now? And you don't want to be doing really strenuous exercises, and you'll know this, Sarah, because it raises your cortisol levels. So things like yoga, Pilates, going for lovely long walks, mindfulness, they're the things that you want to be doing now, really nurturing your body instead of punishing it.
Yeah, I mean, when we go through postnatal phases, we know that we have to slow down. Well, I work with postnatal ladies as well, they don't always, but you kind of know to an extent you have to. So why do we get to this phase of perimenopause and just expect so much of ourselves?
Yeah.
We really do overload ourselves, don't we? Oh, I don't know. It's kind of, hopefully we can get the word out more and more.
The only thing I would suggest that we do need to do, and I know you do it, is our weights, because we have a thing called sarcopenia where our muscles start to decline. I think it's 6-8% per decade from the age of 30. Obviously our muscles support all our bones and joints and our metabolism, and if we don't, even just 5 kilogram weights, 20-minute session a day, every other day, that will help so much with how you feel as well.
Yeah, it really is a, big thing of having to sort of look after herself on different levels, not just, popping a pill and thinking it's going to make everything go away. I think because there is so much about supplements out there. I mean, what are some of the biggest misconceptions that women have about menopause and supplements, do you think?
Yeah, I think there's just a lot of noise out there, Sarah, at the moment, and if you see stuff that sounds like really too good to be true, this will cure your hot flushes, this will make you lose 10 pounds in 7 days, collagen this, collagen that. Even collagen, my own point of view, is it's boiled ligaments and bones from animals. It's an amino acid. Is it really going to do all of these amazing things that it says? I will be corrected by some people who swear by it. Personally, I don't take it. I'm nearly 54, swear by hyaluronic acid in my supplement, which holds the moisture in all the joints and everything. So I think what I've tried to do is create a supplement that's 2 capsules a day. Yes, you could take an extra magnesium in the evening, and you can just cut out the noise and start concentrating on what you need to concentrate on, your nutrition, mindfulness, doing your little bit of exercise, keeping hydrated.
Yeah, I think the thing is, it's gone from being something that wasn't talked about at all to almost being a buzzword since Davina McCall did her program, which was great because it's really opened it up. It's made people talk a bit, but it feels like absolutely everybody is trying to sell something now that's aimed at menopause. Even like, was it Dove or something on the TV that it's like, oh, they now do a cream especially for that. It's like people have jumped on that bandwagon a little bit, haven't they?
There's a new thing in Tesco. It's called M Power or something. It's the new M tick for menopause.
Oh,
so they have a shelf with all of the stuff, and when you look at the shelf, it's like Dove body wash, it's everything that's always been out, but suddenly it's for menopause. menopause. And they actually approached me to become part of that M tick, but it was £5,000 a year for a small brand like me.
wow.
And I just couldn't afford it. And I then questioned its integrity, because does that mean every other small brand that offers something really high quality can't be part of it, and only the big brands like Dove and Menopause or whatever can be part of it? So yeah,
like you say, companies are being missed and we're not. Yeah, that's a little
exactly.
worrying. Oh dear. So if you could give women just one key piece of advice thriving through menopause, what would that be?
I think it is being gentle with yourself. Stop thinking about the past. Think about what you can actually do now to feel better. There's so many ladies that come up and speak to me. I do a lot of shows and events, and they come up and speak to me and they said, you know, I don't eat too much sugar and I do eat okay. I only have a little bit of alcohol. I do walk the dog. I talk to them about the supplements, talk to them about menopause, what they can do. And then they'll say, okay, thank you so much for the information. And then they'll walk across to the other stand and buy half a pound of fudge. They'll buy a glass of Prosecco with a raspberry in it from the horse box bar. You know, and there's all these things. And I'm like, do you know what? Honestly, we all need to live our lives. I love a glass Prosecco, don't get me wrong. But it's about 80-20, you know, making sure that 80% of the time we're really nurturing our bodies. Eat well, exercise, take a good nutritional supplement, and maybe some mindfulness, breath work, meditation. And if you don't feel like you're getting the support that you need from your doctor or anyone, then obviously I do one-to-one menopause support, or even ask for a second opinion at your doctors. Often it's the nurses and nurse practitioners that look after you the best at these doctors. Sometimes they're trained in the menopause, where some of the doctors have had very little training.
Yes, that's actually the case here. And actually Mel that I interviewed, she's actually an NHS nurse here, and there's a few of them, a few nurses, and I think there is a doctor there that's quite good as well. And they've really these nurses have got together because they really want to do this training. They really want to help women. And it is because they're menopausal or perimenopausal themselves, so they really have which is great for us, because it means that will be something that they start to offer. So not everybody's lucky enough to have that locally. So exactly.
So just keep trying. And you can download the NICE guidelines, NICE, from the website, which will say exactly what the doctor should do as the first port of call when you're presenting with menopause symptoms. You can also download a menopause tracker to keep an eye on your symptoms that you can take to the doctors as well, so that you're armed with the information. And I guess one of the things I've found the hardest, Sarah, is that a lot of ladies, if I talk about HRT, and I believe every woman should have a choice, don't get me wrong, but if I do talk about HRT, their initial reaction is, oh no, like that's bad stuff. And yet it's come along such a way since, you know, the 90s. You know, it's transdermal, it's made out of yams, there's really low risks on a lot of elements of that. There's often more risks being overweight or drinking alcohol and things like that, but we could do a whole nother
talk on that one.
talk on HRT.
Yeah, I mean, HRT HRT does get a really bad rap. I mean, obviously I can't take it because I've got endometriosis, but for a lot of women, it's a really good thing, and it's sad because it had a bad press a few years ago, didn't it? But the percentage of women that were at risk of the breast cancer was so minute, but you know, the press exploded it, and then women that needed it stopped taking it. So it is kind of, I always think you need to do your homework on everything and make your choice, don't you?
Yeah.
So definitely.
And even if there is women out there that can't take HRT for certain things, I know with endometriosis, Sarah, obviously estrogen can feed that, can't it? And I understand that, but you know, there is things even like this, like a vaginal estrogen, which is available over the counter in Boots and Superdrug, which is a tiny little estrogen tablet that you insert like a Tampax. It won't do as much as a whole synthetic, I can't think what the word is now, where you use a gel and everything, but it will definitely help with, you know, dry foo-foos and things like that as well. On that note,
I can't see.
Did you see that?
On me, so it's, oh.
Yeah. So it's like that, and it's just a little capsule in there. You click that, the little tablet comes out and sticks to the vaginal wall. You do that every day for 2 weeks, and then after the 2 weeks you just do it twice a week. And it's not messy or anything. It's the size of a contraceptive pill, so you're not going to get lots of, you know, that puts people off. They think, oh, there's a lot of gunk and things. It's not like that either. But if you can get it through the NHS, even better, because it's so much cheaper. I think it's about £25 if you get it from Superdrug. Or
I was going to say as well, because obviously you mentioned that people can come and have one-to-ones with you. How can they sort of find you? Is that through your website, or would they come across you?
Well, I'm actually having a website done for that particular service at the moment, but at the moment it's just through my Menopause Vitamin Company website, or my email address is melissa@menopausevitamincompany.co.uk. What I have to say is I'm not a clinical doctor, but what we do is we sit down and talk about your symptoms, how we can help, what strategies we can put in place. I can even help you write a letter to your doctor. But if you need an actual prescription, if you decide to go that route, then that would be done through your GP.
But it just gives them that bit of extra. If they feel like they're not getting anywhere and not getting any help, they can come to you for the support and then go to their GP a bit more armed. So,
exactly. Yeah. We can talk about supplements and things like that as well. And just quickly touching on as well, a probiotic may be good for some people as well for their gut health. So if you're getting a lot of bloating, don't feel like you're digesting your food very well and just feeling a bit blur, a little probiotic can really help as well. I use one called, I don't know if I brought that up actually. I haven't brought it up with me. I'll give you the details, Sarah, but it's very reasonably priced, about £10 a month, I think, £9 a month.
That is it, yeah. And I think that, I mean, that's a massive thing, gut health, I think, as we get into perimenopause. I mean, I think a lot of people struggle with gut health these days anyway, because of all the additives and things. But, you know, it's these surprising things that, you know, estrogen affects obviously your gut health, your brain health, that we don't expect. I think that comes as a bit of a surprise, and you suddenly can't eat the foods that you used to eat, and like you were mentioning earlier, getting the bloating and stuff. So yeah, any additional help that we can have, definitely take it. So was there anything else you wanted to sort of mention, or
not really? I guess just if anyone is, this was never supposed to be a sales pitch, because you know I wanted to help as a whole really, but if anyone is interested in the supplement, it is available on the Menopause Vitamin Company.co.uk. It is just 2 capsules a day. It's got 26 vitamins, minerals, botanicals in it. It's got no phytoestrogens. It will help sort of balance hormones, your hair, skin, nails, all of the joints. It's got turmeric in, will help with all that sort of thing. The only thing it won't really help with is the hot flushes, because from a professional point of view, the things that I've found work so well for that is HRT within 3 weeks. If you can't do HRT, the doctor can prescribe some non-hormonal medication, and there is a new medication just on the market, again available in Boots and Superdrug, called Veozo, Veozo, something like that. And that's showing really promising results for hot flush.
Oh, that's fabulous. I mean, obviously, as I've said, the supplements are great. One of the things that I noticed when I first started taking them quite early on was, because you were saying about the joint pain, I was getting a lot of shin splints and pain in my legs. Quite often, obviously being in yoga, I sit back on my heels, so I'm kneeling and I sit back and I try to get up, and they'd really be hurting. The same at night, I was getting those sort of restless legs, but that's all stopped since I've had the supplements, so they obviously do help. So
yeah, it's the turmeric in there, and it's also got magnesium in there as well, so that helps.
Definitely a winner.
Thank
Has
you.
anybody got any last questions for Melissa before we sign off?
Sorry, everyone, I do tend to talk way too much.
Sorry, so do I. So that's fine. Oh dear.
It's the passion.
Exactly. Well, you can see that you're very passionate, and obviously when I first met you, I could see that you was very, very passionate, and that's why you do what you do, and you're very good at it. So, you know, the fact that you can do the coaching, one-to-one coaching, on top of obviously the supplements, sort of speaks volumes, I think. So it's more than just a product.
Oh,
what I'll do is,
Sarah, did I ever give you a discount? Did I give you a discount code?
I don't think so.
No. If anyone did one, or if they put in the discount code MEL10, and Sarah, I will set up a code for you after this, then they'll get 10% off as well.
That's really kind. Thank you very much. I mean, what I'll do is, because I'll let, obviously the video will go onto the page and it will stay on the page there today. So if anybody's got any questions, they can pop on. Obviously you're on the page, you'll be able to see any questions anyone's got. And I can just add any links, but you're welcome to pop on the page and add links to the website and things as well, so people can come and find you. And obviously let us know when that new website comes up.
Yes,
that'd be interesting to show people. So.
Yeah, and just a final message to anyone: if anyone's feeling not themselves, or just they feel at their wits' end, there's definitely light at the end of the tunnel, as long as we get a plan in place and start working through that.
Yeah, definitely. That's good to know. Being in the midst of it, there is light.
There is light.
Brilliant. Thank you so much.
Thank
it's been lovely
you.
to talk to you.
And you. Bye-bye.